Hi guys, Every Knife Guy here with what I guess you'd call a long-term review. This is a product I looked at and did a video on I think about 6 months ago, and it was something that was sent to me. It wasn't really something I'd been that interested in or bought out of my own money, but it was sent to me for review and I started using it, and I think it warrants a long-term review because I have found that it's come to form a pretty integral part of my EDC, and yeah, it's a pretty cool product and I definitely like using it. So this is something, when I originally reviewed it, I was going to do a video review on it either way, whether I liked it or not. That was kind of part of the deal, and I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, that's fine. Companies want to get their products out there and get them viewed and get feedback and get people interested in them. That's fine. That's business. I understand that, but I was never under any obligation to do any follow up or other reviews or whatever. But I do think this warrants it because when I did that original review, I didn't really pay it a lot of attention. I did the review, I checked it out, but without using it, there was only so much I could say about it. And I liked it. I liked the concept, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fit it into my everyday or if it was going to form much of a part of my everyday life. So I did what I could with it, and for some reason, it turned out to be one of my most popular videos. It's about 27,000 views right now, which is, for me, a lot. And yeah, it's up there in my top videos. So definitely something that warrants another look, I think, now that I've had a chance to use it. And I've been using this pretty consistently for the last 6 months. The keys I have on here are all part of my kind of work setup. So I have one, two, three on that side. I have two here, and I have I have two here plus the kind of the key binder loop there. I guess you'd call it the key ring loop, I guess. And on this, I have just a small paracord, lanyard, fob, snake knots there, and a little bead. I have that just to grab it out of my pocket or whatever. But all these keys relate to my work. I am self-employed. I have my own business, and basically, I tow trailers a lot. That's what I do. That's part of my work. And I have several keys that relate to locks and locking systems for hitching and unhitching. So I have all the keys I need on here, and these are keys that, every time I jump out to go and do something at work, I need these 5 keys. So to have them all in one place, these ones I usually put around from this side, these ones from this side, it all locks together into one small package with this handy little toggle on it. Drop that into my pocket or the coin pocket of my jeans, pick it out again. It's super simple. There, even though that shakes loose, there is no noise there. There's no jangle. It's not like a traditional key ring in any way, and they're all just there, and it's simple. I just, as soon as I jump out, I just flick them out like that. I'm ready to select whichever one I need, slot that one in, use it, turn it around, use that one, whatever, and just put it away again. So I definitely find it useful having them all in one place. They're nice and neat. They're easy to use. They're all on the one axis. You have the actual bar to use to turn the key as you need to in whatever way you need to use it. I actually found as I started using this that they became what felt like quite slack. Now, if you're into knives, which you may well be considering you're watching this channel in the first place, you know how a knife breaks in and the pivot gets smoother and smoother as you use it, and it almost starts to feel a little loose, but it's not, it's just getting worn in. I thought these keys were getting loose, and I tried to tighten this and found I couldn't tighten it anymore. It was still tight, it's just kind of broken in, and I guess that's just using these keys and then getting worn to the actual pivot of the KeySmart. One criticism I had when I first reviewed it was how shallow these grooves were on the backs of the pivots for tightening. I still do think that you can see it's a little rough on the edges of that groove there, where I have tried to tighten it a couple of times, but it really didn't need tightening. I mean, I've been using this for 6 months, day in, day out, and this pivot's still tight, the keys are moving freely, and yeah, it's getting easier and easier to use, to be honest. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cold here. Yeah, the keys that I have on it are pretty rough and ready. This is a standard length model. You do get a longer version, But this is long enough for me with Canadian/North American keys. I think the longer version is largely for European ones, which are longer, typically longer body on them. So the ones I have here is pretty standard kind of padlock style keys. This one here, as you can see, I very, very roughly, I'm actually quite embarrassed by this. I've quite roughly cut the plastic coating off the sides to make it a little slimmer so that it fits more with the profile of the KeySmart. This is one of these things that you do it originally. I just hacked this off quickly when I had 2 minutes to spare, and I've just never come back to it to tidy it up. I really should just take this key out, get it cut into a proper key like this without the plastic coating, and put it on the pivot. But as it is, I mean, it's not really a big deal, it fits. On this side, I have this one, which is really too bulky as well. I should really get this cut down, but I don't find now, having used it, that this kind of fat head on it is really that much of an issue. This is a fairly standard padlock key style as well. Once it's all closed up, I mean, the whole thing forms a profile maybe that thick, which is what, 18-20 mil thick, and that way it's pretty thin, so it's really not a big deal. And one of my original kind of gripes with it was, well, what if you have different style keys? Like, I think this is one that I drilled out to fit the size of the pivot. But once they're on there, you don't even know, because everything's covered by the actual frame of the KeySmart, so you don't see anything. How neat and tidy and clean cut your keys are is kind of up to you. The actual product itself does its job pretty perfectly, and allows you free and easy access to your keys. They all swivel nicely, and they're all usable. They're compact, they're lightweight. This thing itself weighs basically nothing, and it gives you a loop there to hang it off, either say like a keyless entry key fob for your vehicle, or a paracord like I have, or a lanyard onto a backpack, or whatever you want to do. So that way it's pretty functional as well. You can of course take this little loop out here and just put in a spacer, or just take it out all together and have an extra key, so you just have one small unit to drop in your pocket. Anyway guys, that's about it. I just wanted to revisit this and show you that I have been using it, and actually it's kind of overcome a lot of the initial kind of reservations I had, and yeah, definitely would miss it if I went back to just having a normal kind of keyring style for these particular keys. So it has found a place in my work life, and yeah, definitely worth considering if you think it would fit into yours. So thanks for watching. I'll be back with more knife, EDC, and SAC videos soon. Cheers.